Hello guys, welcome to Awakening Mirror. Today I want to talk about emotions in the way they don't teach us. How emotions are a guidance only when you're neutral, when you are vibrating at a high frequency. Otherwise, emotions can take you on a journey spiraling down, and emotions can also crystallize over time, making you sick, causing disease, and causing you also to not be able to open up your heart chakra. It causes you to close down, it causes you to be scared, gives you fear of things because of one emotion that got stored at a certain point, and then when you are about to go over a similar thing, there's a bodily reaction, there's a sensation, and that crystallizes in the body over time, causing stress, causing disease, as I was saying, causing fear, causing trauma, and all of this can be absolutely changed and reversed. I'm going to be explaining a few concepts that, if you stick with me, you are going to be understanding. And we're going to let go of those parts of ourselves. But we need to understand also that to become the healed version, we transform. We are not the same person that's wanting to heal. I've said this many, many times, and I'm going to keep on repeating the same thing. The one who wants to heal is not the one that heals. You need to align to a healed version of yourself, the one who was never sick. And with the emotions is the same process, because the one holding on to all of these toxics, when they become unconscious, is the one who is limited and the one who's still conditioned. So to evolve into a higher timeline, we absolutely change the whole frequency spectrum. We might have memories, but you'll see that when you become a different version of yourself, there are certain aspects of the past that are also changed. So we're getting into the quantum realm, and it's really exciting. So I'm gonna be starting with a few little pointers regarding emotions. A lot of people say, I'm human, of course I'm gonna be feeling all the emotions, and I like the intensity of life, and that's absolutely fine. There's no, I'm not saying anything against it, but what I'm saying is that when that becomes unconscious, and you start operating only by your emotional imbalance, then you start creating around you certain conditions. And those conditions, since you are entrapped in at a certain frequency within your emotions, are probably not going to be of your liking, of your choosing, and will not allow you to grow. See, emotions are reflections of frequency we give meaning over time. It's also, they are universal but also different for everyone. Not everyone experiences sadness the same way. Not everyone experiences being anxious the same way. Not everyone has the same fears. So these are personal because of the imagery you were putting in and out at certain points. And those images and those emotions started crystallizing over time, leaving information in the body at certain points. That information, I said it before, I'm going to say it again, can become a problem or can become simply a block. It could be an emotional block. So then you are not fully able to be free to operate. So to claim and regain your sovereignty, you need to have awareness, a deep observance awareness and to be deeply conscious of your emotions and why you are acting a certain way at some points and why you are not at others. I'm going to give you a simple example. Let's say you finished doing something you really like. You went for a run, let's say, and you always love jogging, and you come back to your place and you're not only tired but you're exhausted emotionally. You feel like crying, a certain anger got to your system, and then you don't really understand why. There are many things accumulating and you feel confused. So all of those emotions are giving you a sort of brain fog. That brain fog won't leave you with a space for clarity, for acknowledging what happens. So let's say, coming to this example again, let's say you haven't been running for a while, and you go for a run, and after you come back from running you feel sad, and then you notice, you acknowledge that there's no apparent cause. You had a good time running, you were excited that you were going to start a new thing again, and there's nothing for you to be sad or even angry. But what happened is that you're tapping into one of those crystallized emotions. Those crystallized emotions are the ones that, out of the blue, they come as a memory of the body, expanding certain energies that become an emotion that was trapped there, such as that anger and that sadness, in a moment that doesn't make any sense for it to be there. And this happens in many things. You might be going to a party and you haven't been out for a while, and then at a certain point the last memory you had from a party was a bit traumatic, or something happened and you start feeling it in your body. So we need to learn to recognize these things, especially when we are conscious that there's no logical reason for it to be there in your environment. That means it's part of your body. So when it's part of your body, you can let it go easily. I'm gonna give you one tool now that works, but it works with the awareness and the recognition of that feeling. So coming back to our example, you went for a jog, you came back, you start feeling sad. So you sit, you breathe, and you notice, interesting, I am feeling this. This is trying to protect me. So I see there's sadness, I see there's anger. Thank you very much for taking care of me. But I am here. I am no longer sad. I am no longer angry. Thank you for being here. And then you notice how certain energy starts moving. You start feeling lighter only by this little ritual that you do it on your own. You don't even need to say it out loud. You're saying to your body, I am safe. I can let go of that memory. And that energy liberates, bringing you more awareness, bringing you more vitality, bringing you more space, more clarity, more focus. I really wish somebody told me this when I was a kid, because we build entire personalities around certain emotions. That defines the food we eat, that defines the music we listen to, that defines the art we like, that defines the way we relate to others within that tribe, the way we relate to others in school, the way we relate to others after school. Everything is being conditioned from an emotional state of being. And that builds not only your personality but limits you, because if you always fear a certain thing or feel a certain way, you're not gonna be doing many things because of fear, because of it's not even a possibility. It's like a veil that's created. So you don't go there because that's the veil. No, I'm not emotionally capable of doing that. No, I'm not emotionally comfortable. And that is only a limitation. It's an illusion. So how do we free ourselves from these emotions? And it's only by awareness and recognition. This is part one of emotional freedom, which I think is a game changer. And I'm really excited to be talking about this. So thank you for being here. My name is Agustin. This is Awakening Mirror. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. And as always, hit that subscribe button. That really helps the channel to grow. And if you got any value out of this, I would like to hear it in the comments. What's your experience with emotions that were already in your body and then you recognize them and you set yourself free? How was your experience with that? Then I want to say thank you to all the new members. It's lovely to have your support, and I'm gonna be finishing a book this week, which I'm gonna be uploading, and it's gonna be a really interesting one. It's a channel book that talks about the star family we have, talks about accessing your true self, and by resonance connecting to your soul family. Talks about emotions as well, a little bit, limitations, thoughts, but mostly gaining clarity and becoming that version of yourself that is true and needs nothing. It's just the most authentic, abundant version of yourself. Abundant in the sense of everything that is expanded and brings you life. So, thank you again for being here. Love you so much, and I see you in the next one.